Hello everybody, Japan here. So this is my first video with post commentary. We're currently running a map called Legendary. We're running it on version 1.16.1. The version I chose is for the category of 1.9 plus because the map is split into 3 categories. There's a beta 1.7.3 category, there's a category that's between 1.0 and 1.8, and there's this category. So here I am, gathering some stuff and just trying out the nice post-commentary for you here. So there's not going much. I crafted a bunch of stuff here, and I get to this water area, and I'm playing on version 1.16, which means I can actually go up with that water way faster. This is the very important part because we're abusing ceiling in the run, which is the best way to make it past the areas. By the way, I used our 2 boats with a reasoning of just basically it being not shallow for some blocks. I need to somehow get past these. I only have falling blocks, so I have to use boats here. I'm gathering some blocks here to bridge to the first wall, which is white wall, and I'm doing 10 diagonal staircases and then 8 staircases to my left, and then bridge a bit up and go through this area. So I gather some blocks, pearl, which is very important for later. I grab some inventory fillers so I can manage my inventory easier without opening it at any point. Currently I'm leaving with the first wall acquired in sub 2, which is very good pace. And yeah, we're basically going for a bit of weird strategies in this run, and I'm having a special guest today, Icon.
Oh! Yes, your punk is not alone. It is me, Ben Contranaut. I was the previous world record holder on this map, 26:16. Japonk destroyed my time. I did make a lot of the route on this map, so I thought I'd talk about some of the major routing decisions, but Japonk actually made this part of the route going diagonal here between white wool and the next wool, orange wool. You generally just want to take straight lines to wolves, and the best way to do that on this map, especially early on, is going on the ceiling of the map. So yeah, definitely saves a bit of time just going on the ceiling, even though you have to spend time dropping and then pairing back up to the ceiling.
This is the moment where the first minor time save comes because I missed ladder 2 times, which means I lose 2 seconds to that. I'm pillaring up 322, which is really good pace for me. And we're currently heading to another area with already 2 walls in my inventory. We're still going through ceiling because it's the best way. And we're gonna right now go to the area called East Commons.
So this is a 346 splash, which is really good. Probably just about as good as I've ever gotten. I think you maybe have gotten a little bit better paces, but the start of this run was really solid. You just had that 2-second ladder mistake, I think.
Yeah. So we're currently heading to another wall, which is 3rd wall in the map. It's magenta wall, and it's buried in this island. So I grabbed the entire chest because it has a lot of useful stuff for us, mainly blocks, and we just dig through these leaves and just dig down 16 blocks with our shovel.
Yeah, that chest also has a stack of wood, which is very mandatory to get. We're going to be making a bunch of boats and doors and other stuff with that wood. Definitely, the route would not be possible without that wood.
So currently we're leaving this island within the time of 4:45, which is very solid pace. I currently have my treasure plate and my offhand because I'm gonna dig into one of the glass tunnels, which we'll see later, so we can get to intersection 2 faster. Right now we're heading to intersection 2, which has 2 walls, but it also has our possible nether enter, which we're gonna be using for most of the route.
Yeah, so the general route on this map is you do all the I1 walls and then the 2 I2 walls. There's an area between I2 and I3 that doesn't have a wall, and it's really slow to go through. It's like a maze. And so you really don't want to go through that area because you're doing an area without a wall. So entering Nether here is perfect. That's kind of the general route that all legendary runs, or at least all or post-beta runs take, is they do the I1, I2 walls, then go to Nether. Here Japunk's lining up a Pearl deload in a very precise position using trunk borders because there's not really any other blocks to look at. That was found by me. That Pearl is pretty precise and you can miss it in a lot of runs.
I've also crafted a lot of doors and boats. That's because we need them for later parts of the run. Here I use one of the trapdoors I crafted earlier. I also crafted TNT with my book crafting because it's just the most optimal to do it right there where I have my crafting open.
Yeah, and you'll see that TNT is going to be very useful in a second. Another thing I was just going to say there is one of the reset points of that map is all the mobs you can get in the I2 and in the start of this area that he just got past, so that was a nice time save this run. Ironically, like probably one of the toughest mob sections of the whole map, and it's not even in a wall. So yeah, your Pearl lands perfectly there, and then you go get 4 more TNT, which again is going to be very important in a second here.
I grab here all the food so that I can keep myself healthy for the rest of the run. Without that food, that would be most likely possible to get through that map.
Yeah, you're gonna see he eats almost all of the food, even though it's like I think 50 bread. And then yeah, here we're building our nether portal. We don't have a flint and steel, so we need to hope for wood light, and that is probably one of the 2 biggest RNG elements in this whole map is trying to get a wood light that's fast enough. And of course this run is world record, so he's going to get a wood light very quickly. Sometimes you have to wait like 20 seconds or more. I would say maybe even like up to 50% of runs just die on that wood light. And even the runs that don't can lose a lot of time to it. So very lucky that he was able to enter. And I think it's a 7:45 enter, which is definitely faster than any enter I had. And I think pretty much just about your fastest pace as well, right?
Yeah, I think it's like the best one with entering the Nether.
Yeah, so super crazy run here. Here is the big sort of change in the route more recently. We're going to use TNT here and abuse the fact that in 1.16 TNT will give us all the blocks it breaks, not just some. And we're going to use it to get gold ore. And we're also playing in 1.16.1, so we're going to barter that gold with piglins to get pearls. And that's going to be kind of the whole basis of this second half of the run, is we're going to try to get a bunch of pearls from barters and then deload everywhere, and that's going to be our way to travel fast and get past a lot of the map as fast as possible. In 1.8 you use a completely different strategy where you enchant for an efficiency 4 pick and mine a bunch of portals, and you get around the rest of the map that way. But bartering is just faster because you get the pearls, you can leave areas instantly, and you don't have to mine any obsidian.
So for the pearl usage, how do you figure it out? Is there's a big document with just all pearls like showed around, so you know how to navigate with the amount of pearls you get?
Yeah, that's kind of the most fun part of the map in my opinion. Is you can play a run with 8 pearls, you can play a run with 16 pearls, and the route is pretty different between all of them. So knowing how to play the run with your different pearl counts makes it challenging.
Yeah, so there's my piglin trading. We're putting more gold and getting more from the furnaces. We're about to give that gold to our piglin. We stopped trading our previous gold, but we can see here 2 extra piglins come in and try to kill me. One of them notices the gold, and I see here I get 2 pearl trades within a span of like what, 15 seconds, and I figure out it's crazy pace.
Not only 2 pearl trades, but an 8 and a 7, which is about the max. You can get max 8 or to 8, so getting not only 2 pearl trades, but almost 2 max pearl trades instantly is crazy. Having 15 pearls almost never happens in a regular run here, so. And then this island leave, I think, is just about as good as you've ever gotten, right?
Yeah, that's like the best pace. So we're currently living at 1038 island, and it's like 40 seconds ahead of previous world record. I pro here to the roof of the intersection 5 to hang another pearl to tackle, which is just the pearl that is shown in the pearl chart as 8th one.
If he didn't get that many pearls, he would have had to skip that deload there and then run out of this wool. But having so many pearls is going to end up saving so much time in the late game.
Yeah, here I grab cyan wool and unhang my pearl. And we land on tackle area. And this one is kind of interesting, like Vex tried to make it look as much as tackle as possible, and I think he did a pretty good job at it, to be honest.
Definitely a really unique area in a CTM map.
This is a very precise pearl throw. I gather wool and throw the pearl. Then I do 1 pearl to the top and then 1 to the right, so I can hang my pearl for later.
Yeah, so basically what Japonk is setting up here is a route that I came up with, where you kind of have a cascade. You set up a bunch of different pearl hangs, and then you're going to trigger all of them in the second half of this nether. So right now Japonk is running to the most out-of-the-way wool in the map. It's Face of Evil. And this is a big run on the nether ceiling. But on the way, he's hanging all these pearls. And what he's going to be able to do once he gets that far away wool is he's going to be able to load in all the intermediate pearl hangs and get all the way back to the start very quickly and get the rest of his wools and things he needs on the way. So probably like the big difference between this legendary route and routes on other versions is the nether is so much faster because we can do these pearl hangs. In 1.8 you need to run all the way to this last wall and then run back, and it takes a lot of time.
We're currently running through the roof of the map. We have to run to around x-1000, which is a lot far. And here I hang another pearl because I need to get diamonds at some point, because map requires you to get diamond block. So we're hanging the pearl to the diamond island, which you don't see yet, but we will load in here. We're getting past the section here. It's like a very long bridge in the middle of lava, but we're just running across the side of it instead.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a really slow route, but you would kind of have to do this even if you take the intended route. Another thing quickly to mention is Japonk still doesn't have an iron pick to mine the diamonds, but we saved one of our TNT to be able to get the diamonds, and so we'll be able to make a diamond pick from that. And that's a way to skip iron. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do this route at all because you don't have an iron pick, but we can use TNT to get our gold and diamonds early.
Yeah, we're currently approaching the enter of Black Wool chest, which is the last wool of the entire map. The Vex did a funny thing and decided to put only 1 wool so that you have one shot at this, and if you fail you're just gonna lose an entire map. So you just grab the diamond armor, which is essential for the run, and grab the wool and 2 gapples. Gapples are also very important here because they act as our only healing, like major healing in the map, really.
Yeah, that chest is super clutch. Diamond armor is super needed. And the golden apples are very much needed.
Currently we're running through Face of Evil, and this is a very cool route because you had hitter from that bedrock ceiling you saw from a while, spawners on it, and we decide to just jump off it and then make another jump quickly to this chest with wool.
Yeah, that's one of the tougher execution parts of the run. Your punk executes it very well and saves a lot of time from safer strategies. So some good time saved there.
Here I'm using the TNT and crafting some stuff. I'm crafting bed because when we're gonna leave Nether, it's gonna be still nighttime, and we don't want that since nighttime with very low amount of terrain for mobs to spawn is very deadly.
Yeah, that's actually something that I didn't have to do on my run. Tripunk is so much faster than me that he has to sleep to avoid mobs at nighttime. And then we're kind of doing the thing I was talking about earlier, where we're coming back from the faraway wall in the Nether, and we're just using this cascading pearl hangs that we set up to travel back to the beginning of the Nether. And we're going to take a small detour here to get the blue wool on the way.
So this is one of the cooler strategies I've learned through my speedrunning experience. You can boat clip through the ceilings freely. If you just place blocks and just place boat and just get in and get out, you can just get through this one block ceiling, which is very nice. You can clip through it, but there's lava, so we have to eat our one of 2 apples so that we survive it. We load in another pearl that leads to our Nether exit, and this is where there's an interesting strategy, which is called portal relocation.
Yeah, so right here, Tripunk wants to get back on the ceiling of the map to complete the rest of the run. But this portal takes him at a pretty low Y level. And so what he's going to do is destroy the portal in the overworld, and then when he goes through this portal, it's going to create a new portal. So basically what you need to do is go through the portal to the Nether while destroying it at the same time, and he uses the sand to do that. Portal relocation actually has a lot of very interesting applications in other CTM maps as well. I would highly recommend watching a video by JR JR 5000 about how to do portal relocations in other versions and how it can be useful.
Yep, so currently we're just going through this area. It's called Merciless Magma Zone, I think, and we're just sorting our inventory because we're on an adventure with a minecart, which is cool. We're going past this area, and here's gonna be some cool stuff. As you can see, there's not a lot of terrain for mobs to spawn, so if it was nighttime, I would have been probably dead or lost some time to it. So instead I crafted a bed in the Nether and decided to sleep, because it was like still 16:30 and I would have been in the deep night right now. I bridge here 8 blocks, grab extra pearl and apple, and just bridge here over the lava because it's not shallow. Yes, we have already 4 ores, we need 5 more, so we grab 1, 2, and there are 3 more ahead. So we're also, what we're planning to do is use another pearl here to get through this giant lava section forward from us. And I'm throwing pearl to just void to you, but I'm just ending up on the opposite island. Like, it's very nice pearl. It's so routed well.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't do. Definitely nice thing that Chipmunk practice to be able to get some time save.
We are pausing for a while so we can see the C counter go slowly up. We're going for the cap of it, so we can just load the pearl instantly instead of waiting a bit of time in-game time.
Yeah, so this gets to, we're trying to optimize the IGT, and so pausing lets us kind of load the chunks and let the pearl be able to load in sooner. so we don't have to waste as much in-game time waiting for the chunks to load.
Currently we're heading to intersection 4 where we're gonna pearl hang, make another pearl hang, and we're gonna head to area called Castle Ira. So Castle Ira is pretty cool because it has basically 2 routes depending on if you get pearls or not. With 13 pearls I think, you can use 1 pearl in Castle Ira to skip entirely bridging. Since we have more than 13 pearls we can just do that. We're getting through the enter here, like there's no enter through the ceiling, so we just get by the intentional route. And this is where we're gonna use one of our boats, because I'm going to throw pearl up here to the ceiling and we're gonna try to clip through the wall. Unfortunately, you'll see what happens here. Yeah, I placed it in the wrong spot. I messed it up by, what, half a block? Because I placed it between these two and I hit it second try. I grab the wool and unload the pearl, which we hung earlier. Currently heading towards green and we're gonna get that wool via dig down. It's pretty simple, we just get past this area. We're just gonna pearl hang here, decrease our chunks and dig down here.
Yeah, so just to summarize, in the early game we got all the intersection 1 walls and all the intersection 2 walls. We finished all the intersection 5 walls in the nether, and as soon as Japunk grabs this wall, all the intersection 4 walls will be done. So all we need to do is the intersection 3 walls, which the monument happens to be connected to. So that's obviously where we want to end the route anyway, is in intersection 3 near the monument.
So this is gonna be another marathon section where I just run in a straight line and to get to another area. So meanwhile I want to say I streamed this run on Twitch, which will be linked down in the description, and I would like to thank all of people for supporting me on live. I really appreciate you. As you can see, we can slowly see the obsidian pyramid to the left, because we're heading towards it. We're gonna go underneath it, but first we need to pearl hang because we still need to get 1 wool. As you can see, it's not really interesting. Like, I just place blocks to make myself slightly faster and just go past this area. It's gonna be like 30 chunks hang, so it's gonna be a pretty long load.
Yeah, barely on the edge of the render distance, the 32 max render distance. How many attempts do you think you put into this map? Because this is a very good run.
After the break it was like 400 something.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like a lot, but on this map, like, you should be playing so that you get past the first 8 minutes and into the nether on most runs, and you can get to the reset heavy points, which is the portal light and the barters, obviously. So that's a lot of resets. And yeah, this run, super lucky and super well executed. Definitely gonna be very hard to beat.
I lost a lot of runs to not getting pearls or just by getting that mob RNG on the gold island or intersection 2. So this map is really RNG heavy if you're running this category, especially.
Yeah, and especially because the reset points are in the middle, and you kind of need to play the first like 7 minutes out of the run every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also just a very fun map to run, like we talked about, because of all the different route variations with the different amounts of pearls you can get.
Also, if you don't like 1.16, you want to play it like 1.8 or something, you can choose to do that. There's also a route for 1.8, it's nice too. It's very skill based. But anyway.
Yeah, in fact, Speedy is trying to beat that right now. In the 1.7 route.
Yeah. Like you can see I'm hanging another pearl and I'm getting into the dungeon which is below the pyramid. Currently we're in the West Commons and we're trying to get down because below me is wool. And this is the most RNG part of the run, because here I get skeleton, 1 zombie and 2 small zombies, and I'm basically cooked. I have to dig around somehow so that I don't get to lose so much time, but I still do, so that's just unfortunate on my side. Couldn't do really anything. Also, this section is very RNG because there's a lot of mobs that can spawn, and I sometimes die here to just being reckless. Anyway, I ate my gapple, grabbed the wool, and unload my pearl.
Yeah, big props to you for not panicking there. That was a very unlucky moment. Definitely the diamond armor and the golden apples came in clutch there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, now we're done with almost all the wolves. We're heading to intersection 3, where we have 1 more wall to clean up, and then the monument's right there. So we have 1 more pearl that we can use to deload between the areas, and then we just have monument.
Yeah, the tricky part is that you can still die at the monument.
Yeah, the monument is interesting because there's lava flowing down, and we obviously don't have the time to block that up. So yeah, you can even lose runs at the very end, unfortunately.
So the intentional part of the monument trap was that it activates whenever you break blocks above, but on 1.16 the sand which is placed above goes automatically, which makes it significantly hard to get to the monument without getting hurt, and being pretty fast too. This is pink wool, the last wool we need. It's pretty straightforward route. We just go around to the wool and just get it. Not a big deal. Loading back the pearl, and you will see what monument looks like after activating the trap. Yeah, that's it. We have to mine all of the sand and be aware of the lava. Also, the zombie is super unlucky. I almost get none of them. I place my 3 furnaces because I have literally no way of smelting anywhere else with this amount of pearls. I start to sort my inventory, then I realize I still need to mine sand, so I eat to not die on the monument and start digging sand. Use my knowledge of wool order, and I use these to place them in correct order without using any resource packs to help them. I mean, if you don't feel like remembering all the colors of wools in order, you can just use those, but I'm honestly not really into it.
Anyway, enjoy my reaction on beating world record.
Let's go! Yes! Let's go! Fuck yeah! Finally, world record! Oh my god! Dude! Oh my lord! I thought I would never do that. But I actually got the RNG and I executed it well. Oh my god. White, orange, magenta, light blue, yellow, lime, pink, grey, light grey, sand, purple, blue, brown, green, red, black, iron, gold, diamond. Like, the main thing is still the fact that the timer stopped, which means I have everything. Like, blue burned right now. Oh my lord, that run was so good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.